And we're back once again, only on It's Last Call. Last Call of the Alcohol, only on the lastcallpodcast.com. And joining me here, NCAA Wrestling Championships are done with, but we have a lot of people to talk with because there were great stories that came out, great performances. And this young man, very impressive, true junior, two-time All-American. I give you the pride and joy of the Naval Academy. I give you it is midshipman Daniel Wask. So Daniel, start off here with, has it hit you yet? You can now call yourself two-time All-American.
Yeah, it's a cool deal. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped with how I competed. Not settled though. Still one more try, one more shot at it next year.
So take me to the match that everybody's talking about. It was you in your second match against the number 2 seed, which at the time, a lot of people were looking at this and going, okay, hey, you know what? This Simon Ruiz kid, he's gonna, he might win the whole thing. It's gonna be him, PJ Haynes. He just won his first match by tech fall in 7 minutes. Take us back to that match because it seems like right off the bat you were not intimidated and you decide, all right, you know what? I'm going to beat this guy. I don't care about your record, your school. I'm going out there to beat him. Like, take me back to that match and your mentality.
Yeah. So me and Simon, we grew up together, so there's a lot of familiarity there. And I wrestled him last year. It was a really close match. I knew it was going to be another good close match. I just have a ton of respect for Simon, so it's just wrestling.
Does that help when you have familiarity so that you're not thrown off by either his scrambling, maybe weird takedowns, funkiness? Like, does it help when you have an idea of, all right, this is how this guy's going to attack me, so I know exactly what to expect?
For sure. Definitely having a lot of familiarity between the two helps. I know where he's good, where I was able to score on him. Took advantage of that. But yeah, at the end of the day, Simon's super tough kid, good friend of mine.
How weird is that? Where, as you said, you grew up, and most of these guys, I'm looking at your bio, like you either were teammates of guys like Mark Anthony McGowan, Mason Stefani, Shane Van Ness. You knew Ruiz. Like, how tough is it when, because of where you grew up and because you went to Blair Academy, like a lot of these guys, either you know of, you're friends with, or you've wrestled against?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting going to tournaments, just seeing all my friends and me just competing at the highest stage of college wrestling. It means a lot. It means like all of our work is paid off, and now we're just having fun competing at the highest level. It's definitely unique, and I think I have a unique experience on how I've just, like gone through college wrestling because I've done it with all my friends.
Take me to the change this year from last year. Like, how much more stronger did you feel, not only mentally but physically, having another year of just, okay, I'm growing into my body, I'm lifting more weight, I understand how to do more of the weight cutting slash weight training, like, and even though you're doing all your naval drills, at the Navy at Naval Academy, like, how much this year did you feel like, all right, I'm stronger than I was last year?
Yeah, every year you have is a year to grow and develop, I believe. So just, I All-American my sophomore year and being able to go back to the tournament, having that experience and knowing what to do and tough positions and just being able to figure it out has definitely helped this year. Definitely not the year I was expecting, a lot of ups and downs, but got back on the stand and was pretty pumped about it.
What was your lowest down this year? Like, give me an example, like when you were like, okay, yeah, I gotta get myself out of this rut. I'm just in a funk.
Um, I would say at conference I was pretty upset with how I was wrestling, and then kind of leading up to conference because I was losing matches I should have been winning, and yeah, it's tough. Wrestling's not always linear success, so being able to find ways to succeed even when you're not 100% was super important for me to understand that this year.
How tough is it when, and I say this, and some people in the wrestling community get upset. No, no, man, no, not that. But like, Adon Sinclair and Cam Steed are professional wrestlers in a sense. They are paid, but NIL money. They go to college. They train year round. They are wrestlers, and you are a Naval Midshipman Academy, a cadet. So for you, it's okay. Yeah, we're done with school. You have naval drills. You still have this. I mean, do you ever get frustrated where wrestling's almost secondary to you are a naval midshipman, and unlike other guys who it's wrestling's first, college second, or it's the same. You have a higher duty.
Well, I mean, we all committed to college, right? So at the end of the day, we all have to go out there and we all have to wrestle the same match. I don't get frustrated or anything like that. If anything, I think it's pretty cool to see like the people I can take out because they're getting paid all this money, but like I'm just at the Naval Academy doing my thing. We also get paid at the Naval Academy. It's not NIL. We get a stipend, but it's good stuff.
My late grandfather was part of the Navy, and he said there's no higher honor than being part of a naval academy. You entered, and again, I've always been impressed when people enter either, the Naval Academy, the Air Force Academy, the Army Academy. Like, why? What was the calling? Why? What was it about being a Navy cadet for you that this was your calling?
I never knew I wanted to go to the Naval Academy growing up, and I was pretty successful my freshman year in high school. I had a pretty challenging sophomore year. There was a lot of ups and downs. I had to, look at myself in the mirror for a little bit, but colleges started calling, and it wasn't what I was expecting. It was very minimal calls, which I was pretty upset about. And one of the few schools that did reach out was the Naval Academy. Coach Kolak called me. He said he wanted me on board, and I kind of was over. I didn't want to like have the recruiting process be a big part of like what I was doing in high school. So I just jumped on the Navy train right away, and I kind of just told myself that, if he believed in me when I wasn't at my best, he's gonna get me when I'm there. And, it came to fruition and I'm pretty happy about my decision. Yeah.
It's still though. I mean, for most of us, this is almost like a foreign sort of country because again, you go in there, and unlike college freshmen, the first couple of weeks you're partying, you're having some drinks, some beer. It's like first day there, you were up there, you're doing the physical, shaving the head, walk up to the line, people are challenging you. Like, how much of a culture shock was that, and how tough is it explain to this to people who are like, "But college is supposed to be fun."
Um, I mean, you get a lot of like, I guess, Academy alum and like the people who were on the team before you, they tell you how it's gonna be. So, I mean, it helps you to like what to expect. There's definitely a culture shock. That first night you're laying in your bed, you're going, what did I get myself into? What am I doing? But like I said, just following through on my word, believing in Coach Kolak because he believed in me. Yeah, just following through and definitely excited for the opportunities after. And I think all that stuff we go through at the beginning is, going to help with that. But
So take me into the day of a life of second classman Daniel Wask. Like, what do you do when you're at the Naval Academy? Like, how much was it? Like, what kind of classes do you take? Do you have military drills? I know there's top secrets you can't give me here, but like, how like for the average person who has doesn't know what goes on, like, what is the day of the life of you?
yeah, so I guess during season, um, let's see, I wake up around like 5:30, 5, got wrestling practice at like 5:45 or 6. It kind of switched uh in the middle of the year, but we had practice around 6 in the morning. Then we go to our classes. Personally, I'm a history major, so I was taking, I'll just give you this semester. I'm taking German, and then I'm taking an international relations class, and then I have electrical engineering, and then so for our lunch, we work out again, whether this would be like our lift or our conditioning. And then after the second workout, we'd go eat at King Hall. It's kind of like our dining hall. It's good stuff. And then I'd have a maritime warfare class, which is like how to navigate, the waterways. And then after, either work out again or get cracking on your schoolwork, eat, maybe build some Legos, do something, whatever you'd like to do for fun, and go to sleep, do it again.
I mean, compared to what you're saying, I feel like an idiot now. Like, oh yeah, no, my class is really like that here. So take me to the Naval wrestling team because look at the roster and it's a hodgepodge of like guys from New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, Florida, Connecticut, Georgia, Washington, Virginia. Like, how do you guys? I guess how much of this is for you when you first got in there? Was like, oh, all right, this is because it is for you like a huge culture shock. You're in a different place, different state, different almost atmosphere. Like, how tough was it mentally getting used to just all of this and the wrestling?
Um, I think I was pretty used to people being from all over, growing up, being on a ton of different like youth wrestling teams. I Everybody would be from everywhere coming to wrestle on, my teams growing up. So I don't think people being from other like places shocked me at all. I think my perspective on like different cultures definitely opened up because you're living with these people and you're seeing how they live day to day. Um, and I think that's important as a leader, as a person. Perspective is a lot. But yeah, it's just super unique. Really love it. Enjoy every opportunity I get here. So,
You talked earlier about the low points of his season. How much is that also because you're returning All American, you're a junior, and I'm guessing you felt okay. I got to step up. I'm one of the leaders. I'm now one of the guys they're going to look at because I'm an accomplished wrestler. Like, how much did you feel that was a sort of a problem early on where you're putting a lot on your own plate, not only because of your expectations, but hey, I am going to help lead a team into success.
I think at the end of the day, it's just wrestling. Um, like whether you're doing a good job of it, or you're doing a bad job, you got to figure out what you need to work on. I mean, if you're really talking about pressure, but I think pressure is a privilege. Like you get to have pressure. Um, but I also think a lot of the pressure that one can put on like oneself is like internal. Like if you just focus on like what's at tat, like what's on like what you got to do, it's not that difficult. I mean, if you can make it a lot harder for yourself if you start to, buy into the pressure you're putting on yourself.
Take me through a tournament run. So again, you knock off a number two seed. After you lose in the quarterfinals, you get right back up. Oh, there's a 12 seed from Oklahoma. Oh, by the way, then you win that. Hey, you have an 11 seed from Iowa State. These are all guys who are highly recruited. So the Iowa State, that was just you were on fire. It's 20, you win 20-9. It's like everything you want to do, you could do. Have you ever had matches like that in college where you almost just feel like he can't stop anything? I could do whatever kind of takedown, and I am just going to get it in him.
Uh, yeah, funny enough, that kid actually went up 7-0 before I came back. But yeah, I mean, just like what I said before, it's just wrestling, just sticking to what I know, just keeping it super simple, having a good time doing it. When you're having fun, it's hard to, get stopped. And yeah, just having those battles, constant battles was a really good time. Like I live for that stuff, and there's not any other crew in the world I want to do it with than, the coaching staff we got here.
You're too humble. I mean, as I said, you're down 7-0. There's a lot of wrestling with a car. This is going to be 9-9. I'm already an All American. Screw this. I'm still just like, oh no, actually, this is to get into the All American spot. So again, it's yeah. Could would you be able to do this last year? Do you think be down 7-0 and roar back to win 20-9, or is this something you've
Uh,
developed?
no, I think last year, you know, I think I would have been fine last year. It's just wrestling, just one match at a time.
Yeah, you're very too humble. You're allowed to peacock now. You're a two-time All-American. So, hey, two-time All-American. You can go to the bank if you want and say, hey, I'm a two-time All-American. I need a loan. You're allowed to peacock midshipman Wask. You're allowed to do this on the show. You're not going to, I know, because you're too much. So take me to the family's reaction because they're watching this here. They're seeing everything. They know the highs and the lows. Like, what was their reaction after you placed sixth and you're two-time All-American? Like, how proud were they that you're doing all of this and sacrificing along the way?
Yeah, I'm sure I probably took a few years off my parents' life during the tournament. In the blood round, I went to like ultimate rideouts, so I mean, it was pretty intense. My sisters at home were cheering me on. My parents were there, so it was super cool. Being able to finish up, go upstairs, give them a big old hug. Just let them know like that. What they like pretty much all the time we invested in. The blood, sweat, tears we all put into the sport because I couldn't do it without them. So I'm just really grateful for them. Yeah, they were just super proud, super pumped.
Did they ever try to talk you out of going to the Naval Academy in the beginning? Because again, this is the highest honor. Growing up, as my grandparents explained, like you are serving your country. This is honor. This is duty. You get out, you'll put your life on the line. There is a chance you might go to places where you got to risk it all. So again, I'm guessing they must have been terrified. Like, how did you talk them into going? I'm fine, Mom, Dad. I'm fine. The Navy Academy is for me.
Yeah, my mom works so she's a civilian for the army.
All right, so she at
So
least understood a bit. She's probably
she,
not happy you went to the Navy. Like, how come you couldn't go to the Army?
yeah, yeah. So my mom kind of understood it a little bit, but my dad was just because I was ready to like commit. What was it? The first day of recruiting. I forget what it was. Maybe June 15th. That's when the phone calls open, something like that. But I mean, I took 2 months. In August, I committed. But my dad just wanted to make sure I was ready to rock. Then yeah, I knew I was never gonna turn back because just gonna follow through on my word. I think also I had my coach at Blair. I had three Navy grads, um, all in my corner at least at one point when I was at Blair with Brian Antonelli, Carbonero, and Newstick. So I just really appreciate those guys because they're great men, and I wanted to be like them pretty much because I know they're great dudes. So
You guys, the hard-hitting question. You're done with wrestling for now. You no longer have to cut weight. What was your meal that you had afterwards? Was it lobster bisque, steak and cheese sub? Was it barbecue ribs, sweet tooth? Like you must be going. Thank God I have to cut weight now for a while. I can now just eat. So, what was your cheat meal?
yeah, I don't cut a ton of weight, so I mean the my big meal it wasn't really anything crazy. I don't even remember what I ate that night. Um, I went to the social after. I had a little bit of pizza, but nothing crazy. I wasn't that hungry. My body was just pretty banged up, so I was just probably more needing of a nap. But
How tough is this tournament for those who don't get it? Like, if they think, oh, it's a wrestling tournament. Like, there are guys I know who place who just come in eighth because physically they've been just thrown through the ringer. You've been dropped on your head, bodies, torqued in different positions. You have to cut weight several times during this tournament. So for you, like, how much were you just in pain, but you basically ignored it or just sucked it up after that first 2 days?
yeah, it was tough to turn my head. By day three, I like had to turn my whole body if I was gonna look at something. So that was definitely unique. But like I said before, I was there before, so I kind of had a understanding of what it was gonna feel like. So yeah, I'm just toughening it out because everybody else is feeling like that. So you know why not just get tough?
You mentioned your coach, Kerry Cola. He is one of the most decorated wrestlers in the United States, a former two-time Division One champion, wrestler in the Olympics, World Gold Cup medalist. How much does that help when he can look at you and go, "I know what you're going through. I've been in your shoes, and he can also literally like wrestle with you and go, all right, this is what we're going to do. This is how we can work. Like, does that help with you and your wrestling?
Yeah, it means the world. Especially when he's like in the corner mid match, and I just hear him like say some stuff I should do. Like, it's probably a really good idea. I'll try it. I'll give it a shot. Uh, but I've had people come up to me and be like, "He's so intimidating to wrestle against," and I like love it because I don't know. I just feel like he's my guy. I'm his guy. It's me and him versus the world whenever we're out there. I love it.
So now, two-time All-American. Navy had a successful season, 6-5, and looking here, which second in the EIWA out 12 teams. What's the goal for next year? Because now all of a sudden, as he said, even though it's I'm two-time All-American, it's like okay, I still have next year. I still have other goals. So for you, like, when do you start going? Okay, I've got to get ready for next year, and what are the goals for next year?
Bottom line is we got to beat Army. I haven't done that yet. We got to figure that out. We're returning five qualifiers, so that's big. That the experience those guys got is going to be really good for them, and it's going to help them grow as wrestlers and as people. And I think it's going to rub off on the rest of the team. I think the goal for next year is to have 10 go, 10 get on stand. But it's up to the other guys. I can't wrestle 25 through heavyweight. I can only wrestle what I'm going to wrestle. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I believe in those guys as much as they believe in me. So I think there's really nothing stopping us besides ourselves at this point. Why not Navy?
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are proud to have him on the show. I give you two-time All-American, 6th this year in the country. Well, he's going for 3-time All-American next year. Dare I say, NCAA champion. I give you it is second-class midshipman himself. I give you Danny Wask. So, Danny, before I let you go, where can fans check you out? Where is the Twitter, Instagram? There's probably a YouTube channel where you're going to teach us how to wrestle, arm bars, 3/4 Nelson stacks, all that. Where can fans hit you up at?
I don't really know if yeah, I'm not gonna.
No problem. How about this? Where can fans check out Navy Wrestling?
Okay, yeah, Navy Wrestling. So on Instagram, it's gonna be Navy Wrestling. Twitter, I'm pretty sure it's Navy Wrestling, and then they might have a Facebook, not sure. Off the top of my head. Yeah, definitely Instagram, or I guess X. Instagram and X is Navy Wrestling. And then you could find me on there. Not sure if I'm supposed to promote myself or not. Navy rules.
You're too humble. I wish more people are like you. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, I give you it's Naval Midshipman Daniel Wask, two-time All-American. Always an honor and a pleasure to have you on the show. We come back. We got a lot more going on here, only on it's Last Call. Last Call at the Alcohol, only on the LastCallPodcast.com.